Yeah, close enough.
Yeah, close enough. I'm glad the browser source worked, so I didn't have to redo it. So that is nice.
Cool. That also means I can like stop watching myself 2 seconds later. I can hear you on Twitch. We can hear you in chat.
Yeah, as long as all the audio is good, thank you, Zerpo. Appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, I do appreciate it. Yeah, so let's get a warm-up game here.
I'll get some
Hey.
smooth jazz for the playlist. I'll do a quick
Ooh.
sound check, make sure we're okay. I think the music's a good volume. I think you should be a good volume, Karen.
I can't. Oh, the Twitch is muted for me. One second.
No, I'm listening to you. So you just need to talk.
Oh, okay. Oh, duh. Okay, I'm talking now. I was thinking a good idea for our little warm-up game would be to preview the 75 SAS floor reversal that is happening at KF. Yeah, because we got that at KFPL on Saturday, which is tomorrow. And we both had decks we wanted to try out for it. I don't know if you want to give people
we did.
Yeah, I figure it would be pretty good to give that a go.
For sure. And hey there, Zoc. Welcome. I'll make a new window here so we can get the game capture set up.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Just making sure. See if this helps. If I mirror my own. Right. I think I'll probably here. Because this is a wee bit cropped for there for both of us. I think that's better.
Hello, more viewers coming in. We're just setting up. We're going to play a quick preview game, which will be a preview of the 75 SAS reversal format at KFPL. And then we're going to do the real main event here, which is the preview of the Doppelganger format. Everybody can see how our decks are duplicated and kind of maybe have a better idea of what to expect for your own.
And give an example of how the games will work, because I do know that it's not necessarily the easiest system to
Yeah, it's very easy once you do it, but it's just like one of those things you need to see because it's a lot of moving pieces. So I think a video example is ideal.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. So I think I have. I'll make a new game. It should be switched over to Crucible.
Okay.
Hey Joe. How's it going?
So we got reversal for this.
Yep, I'll make the right room. Make it competitive.
Sure.
Only competitive games in at Swindle.
Oh yeah, we go hard. All right. So again, for those of you who just come in, just repeating myself a little bit, but we are going to try the 75 SAS reversal KFPL thing while we wait for it to be the official time to preview the Doppelganger. I'm also just going to send out an everyone tag in about 10 minutes to let everybody know. Going to start that pretty much right on the dot. Okay. This means I can snipe Murph's hands too.
It does mean that we're not playing with any delay. Oh, hey, Orion.
Hey, welcome. Lurking while you're working.
Perfect. Got a lot of lurkers here. All lurkers are welcome.
Yep. We prefer if you lurk. Like, who would want to interact?
I like interaction, but maybe not Karen.
No, I'm just not when I'm playing KeyForge. I like interaction with chat.
That is true. That is true.
I want to minimize the meaningfulness of my opponent's moves, but I like talking.
Perfect. There we go. So And Orion, for those who don't know, is runs the Floximal channel on YouTube. It's great content. So if you haven't already, go subscribe to that channel and go watch the videos because they're all really good.
Could not
I do
agree
recommend.
more. Yeah, absolutely. The Swindle seal of approval.
Hashtag not sponsored, just a cool channel.
He paid us.
A few dollars. I'll keep here. Oh, you're gonna record your qualifier tomorrow. That's awesome. Yeah, I think that I should be playing that in that as well, Ryan. I think I'm planning on streaming it. I mean, I know Amber Meaties is gonna be streaming matchups as well, so it'll be it should be a fun time tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. This is a nice. It's kind of like it's an unsolved meta, which is something I really love. Like, you know, as much as I liked the last event, like I liked them for different reasons, basically, right? So you got the 75 SAS triad, where it's like we all kind of know our best 75 SAS decks, and that's really exciting to like just get to play your good stuff. But I really appreciate the opportunity to figure out a completely new meta.
Oh, absolutely. I think I mean, the nice thing about a 75 SAS floor is that, like, at 75 SAS, decks aren't useless. Like, they're doing things. And so, it at least makes for interesting games.
Yeah, it's like you said, like, not only are they not useless, it's like, how do I say? You have to figure out, like, what is okay to let a deck do. Is a little bit of rush okay, or like, you know, like what is the thing, what is the category that is most important to limit?
Yeah,
like,
definitely. And as
have,
Orion
like,
says, as Orion says, nothing like other people watching me lose to my own deck.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's gonna be great.
Well, at that point, Orion, you just say, well, my deck was too good. Right? So it's a win-win. If you lose, you've got your 75 and up decks are just too good for a reversal.
I'm gonna play a little bit of a complicated move here. So I got Static Charge on Shoulder Id, which is gonna steal if it's not killed. We play Knowledge is Power to actually archive a card and then think twice to
gain 2 Amber?
Yeah, it's like, whether I want to gain 2 Amber or do I want to damage you and basically steal 1. I think I want to damage you and basically steal 1. That feels good. That just feels right, you know?
Hey, no, not even bad.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to see what deck you end up bringing, Orion. So here we're gonna play Eureka. I'm going to Crazy Killing Machine to kill Flaxia and Shoulder Id.
No.
And then we Cutthroat.
Okay.
And so Karen and I are just chilling, playing some games while we wait for 2 o'clock to roll around, so we can start that. And
get a free tide raise here. Get a nice card.
Change my category to board games or card games. Should KeyForge? I'll put this to chat. Should KeyForge be streamed under board games or card games?
I think they call it a tabletop. Like GG in their last announcement called it a tabletop.
Yeah, I do think you're right.
But it's a card game. Like,
yeah, you play with cards.
Also, I have a cat.
I thought that was a real cat for a second.
No. It like kind of feels like a real cat. That's why I got it. I get the ball.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
I always have, when streaming, stuffed animals are never far. And the giant giraffe behind me, of course.
Perfect. Quick Draw votes card game. Joe votes board game? Well, I got a split in the chat.
Best of both worlds. How would I categorize something like Dominion? Like, what?
Categorize something like Dominion. I'm not familiar with that card game.
I think people call that like a deck builder, don't they? I can't remember.
I am not the expert.
I had a friend who was like super into that. Sanctum.
So, yeah, we're going Sanctum. Put down the Potion of Vulnerability. We're gonna play the Grey Rider. Fight your Edai here. And
I lose this, I'm at a loss for the event. This is like the worst thing
the
that got
left.
pulled. Oh no!
And I'm just gonna kill your Bilge Warden. And then I will do this and redistribute. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do, but I will take it.
Mm.
And then I'll end my turn and throw back over to you.
I think you had a chance to Grey Rider loop there. So I'm gonna get old Patty out with Way of the Pixie. Give him the old Reap and Sow treatment.
The problem is I don't want to fight with the Grove Keeper because it would put you at check.
Yeah. Wasn't there like the Darna like somewhere did? I don't know. I'm just.
If I deployed both of them in between, so maybe I could have. No, 'cause
Right.
I think there's two creatures to fight, and I would only playing Grey Riders.
Right. Yeah, no, it's yeah. I'm more like thinking for like how to play against it. I think that doing this is really important. I like dodge the Cutthroat and also put out a real board.
Oh yeah, dodging the Cutthroat here I think is huge.
That's the biggest thing against that deck. It's like it just don't go above 8. Like.
But I think we call Sanctum here regardless. And we Radiant Truth.
Oof.
And then we'll Reap here. And we'll fight with Darna into your Patty to trade that off.
Oh, that's so sad.
And then we put this Grey Rider down. And we fight that into... Like, we just sack that into Willa or Bumblebird.
Yeah.
And then here, just sack that into Flumph.
Your deck is really bad.
Yeah, it was, believe me, it's the highest SAS Dark Tidings I opened. And I was like, wow, 77, man, I can't wait to play with this. And then I just like, I can't win with this deck.
Right. Okay.
So Quick Draw says he considers TCGs/CCGs/KeyForge as card games, and then games that are a standalone box like Dominion board games, even though they use cards.
Yeah, I buy that. I mean, I view it as a card game. Like
that's a good call. That's a good call, Quick Draw. That was a better play. I was looking at that to see how to use that, but that's a great call.
Oh yeah, that's smart. Yeah, I like that.
That's smart. Yeah.
We got a nice shadows board here, doing stuff.
Yeah, I guess because like I think of like Flesh and Blood, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, all those things as card games. I consider like when I tell people what KeyForge is, I call it a card game. But I know most people seem to stream KeyForge in board games, and it does have a more of a board game like feel to it than those ones do.
That's interesting.
So here we definitely call logos though.
Dinobot use.
And we'll play the Research Smoko, and we'll hit the Crazy Killing Machine. Hit this. Oh, okay, yeah. Intriguing. Crazy Killing Machine. Yep, Crazy Killing Machine gets got.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we just YOLO this. Feels weird, but I think this is. You know, gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
So I've been told. Do one of that.
Yeah, I agree, Joe. I think board game. I think calling um, board games is more targeted of what audience actually you know watches KeyForge. I think more board gamers, and obviously card gamers do too, but I think it really does appeal to a big board game audience.
That is interesting. Yeah, we do have like Jason on Swindle came in for board games. I remember him talking about like, oh, like I'm normally a board gamer, and it's like a little bit weird for me to be navigating. Like he views it as like him as a board gamer trying to navigate a card game. But that still did come in as like an appeal, like an obvious like appeal for him. Got Song Spray.
And then I'm going to...
Returns Chota, Hazri, and Flaxia to the deck. Grasping Vines. Gonna return that.
Key cheat.
Oh, key charge. Oh. That, Do that.
Stunned.
Glad you're impressed, but maybe stunned is a little bit of an overreaction.
Yeah, that's what they say. Okay, this little Nif is going to be a problem.
Yep.
So I think we just kind of have to call Lugos.
Oh, okay.
And we'll fight... Do that. Get this down. Get that down. The shoulder id is annoying, but we will we'll get by it.
Oh, you just made.
I just gave you
steal one.
Yeah. I forgot about the Amber Pip on that. Yeah, I guess that's also a good. 'Cause I know you Ketzer, you come from Yu-Gi-Oh as well.
So I'm actually just gonna do that. Put some unstunny boys.
So here we'll call Untamed. We'll call Untamed. It's in my archives now. I think I'm gonna Reap. Gonna play Flaxia. Gonna play Nature's Call. And bounce this, and... Do we just bounce the trio?
Leave them be. They have work to do.
And then I pass that back over to you. I'm at check.
Okay, we go Untamed. We play the Fertility Chant. Slap out this. And
Don't you dare Key Frog.
Oh, okay.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
GG. I mean, that was close.
That was close. Yeah, I thought you had a way to get the key cheat when you started bouncing the Flaxia. I'm like, no.
I had
fun.
Yeah, I could only go to exactly 6.
Yeah.
Because I have Glimmer in hand.
Mm.
And so, but I couldn't get back. I didn't have enough to get back KeyCharge because I couldn't go to 7.
Right. Yeah, I was just like trying so hard to like keep that play as capped as I could, but you know, it's really interesting though, because like you said, it's like you never win with these decks, but like playing this, I'm like, oh, I have like moves and like I'm sure you felt the same way, right? Like finding maneuvers in decks that would normally be unplayable because they're like too high fast, but also, you know, not good enough.
Yeah, exactly. Like that deck, you have there can do some cool things.
Right.
Like, you know, it can think twice its own fertility chant.
Yeah, I'm really happy with like how interactive and like planning ahead that game was. It's a little more patient of a game, where you're like, okay, I have to set up this and I have to set up that.
Definitely.
So let me send out an everyone tag to remind them of the stream here.
Yeah, perfect.
And then I'm just gonna grab a water real quick after doing that. And then we'll get started.
And then it'll be just you and I chat for 2 seconds, and you have to suffer through me. Okay.
Alright, okay, I've messaged the Discord. Be back in 2 seconds here.
Perfect. Yeah, I think KeyForge does a really good job of bridging that board game and card game space. So, like, I play Flesh and Blood. I definitely played Yu-Gi-Oh for a while, and I mean, I've played some Magic Limited, but never really played Pokemon or, you know, anything like the some of the new CCGs that are coming out. But none of them feel nearly as good as KeyForge does, and also they're harder to get people into. Orion really nailed the thought on the head in one of their videos about the whole you know, selling the Yu-Gi-Oh selling you, or Yu-Gi-Oh providing the dream that the original Yu-Gi-Oh anime sold you.
Yep.
That's absolutely perfect. Which it probably makes sense why so many Yu-Gi-Oh players, like myself, Karen, and Ketzer, are all, you know, very much into this game. Yeah, I still hang around the edges of the Yu-Gi-Oh community too, Ketzer. You know, with Master Duel, I played a bit more, and same with Duel Links. I started playing some, so I certainly still play Yu-Gi-Oh, just in a much more reserved and, you know, not nearly as often way.
Right. Yeah, I kind of feel the same way about it. Like, I got really into, like, when Ren Majku suddenly got good, and I was just enjoying the hell out of that Rogue deck.
Oh, yeah, Grandmaju, Eater of Millions.
Yeah, well, not just Eater of Millions, but it had the, what's the name? The, Hexatrude thing with the Golden Castle Stromberg. It was like a really weird combo where, like, a bunch of cards that were never good were, like, suddenly good.
Oh, I do remember. Oh, thanks for the follow, One Star Peeps. Are you are you going to be streaming your matches on Saturday if you're playing in the qualifier? Hey Dinopot, hey Ashitaka, hey Gwed. It's a Yu-Gi-Oh stream? No, it's not a Yu-Gi-Oh stream. Just Yu-Gi-Oh, a few Yu-Gi-Oh players reminiscing.
That's our big announcement. We're making the change.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right here on stream.
Right here on stream. No, yeah, you thought this was a format preview? We're actually previewing the next Yu-Gi-Oh set.
Yep. Sponsored by Konami.
Yeah.
Officially. Not a joke. 100%. Okay.
They don't actually pay money, so it's not like they'd even be good.
Yeah, we get yeah. We get appreciation from Konami. But
Oh,
yeah,
that's
so we
awesome,
got
listener peeps. Well, that does sound like a pretty good time. Even though you missed the qualifier, that does sound like a pretty good time instead.
yeah.
Oh, that's right. That is what Gorlami had mentioned that when we were scheduling our match that we happened last night. And hello, Gorlami. Thank you for the follow. Welcome.
Hey everybody.
You get to see the Crucial Judge again tonight. As that's or this afternoon, as that's one of the decks that for this specific one I've submitted to the all-seeing Doppelganger algorithm to find doppelgangers of.
So yeah, do you have the sheet maybe to pull up and maybe I can talk through how it works and
I
while
most
people
certainly do. Just let me.
Yeah.
There we go. That actually should be popping up right now.
Right.
Give it 2 seconds to load.
Yep. Cool. I see it.
You see it? Perfect.
Yep. So as you guys can see, we have this is pretty much the way it'll look when you guys get it. Each of us has brought 2 original decks. So if you look, Swindle, Testrun, Karen 1, Karen 2, Murph 1, Murph 2. We're going to decide which one of our 2 decks to bring, right? So like I think. I don't know. Like, I'll think about it, right? I'm going to bring one of these 2. Murph's going to bring one of his 2. And then we'll flip a coin to decide who goes first, me or him. So let's say I win the flip. I choose one of my 2 decks. And Murph rolls a D100 in the chat to decide which one of the 100 doppelgangers he will play against my chosen deck. And then we do vice versa. And then we just flip it. So hopefully it is that simple. It will be nice to give it the kind of, display it working on stream. If anybody has any questions, feel free to fire them in chat. Did you have anything to say, Murph, or add?
No, I think we can probably, before we'll premiere, or we'll show off the decks we've submitted to the algorithm.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So we'll go through yours first.
Okay. Oh yeah, and we can kind of talk about like why they fit well into the format and stuff.
Exactly, why we picked them, what we're sort of looking for them to do, or like if we expect it, what we expect in a doppelganger.
Sure.
And then we can. So I have. I don't know if you can also see the stream. I have Bono and Evil Twin.
Sure.
They're both evil twins. I would say they're both evil twins.
I don't use good decks ever.
Yeah, it's
only evil.
Only the edgiest.
So let's talk about Bono for a second. So I think one thing, like, it's obvious that you want a deck to outperform its SAS, but again, remember that you're getting 100 very, very similar decks. So for me, I don't want my deck to be like so extremely fire that I'm gonna have to play against something that is of like an extremely Archon level, right? What is interesting about Bono is that the SAS is at 75, but the SAS distribution is rather irregular for a deck of that SAS level. As you can see, like the amber control isn't incredibly high, the speed isn't incredibly high, like none of the stats actually seem really off the wall other than like the 16 creature control, which I actually think is overrated by SAS for multiple reasons. But it's got like 11 pips, it's got 18. But most of what it really does is that intangible other stuff. The high recursion is really interesting to me, because I think somebody having to pick up a brand new deck that is highly recursive, right, because like it's going to have relatively mirrored stats, I think it'll be hard for people to pick up a high recursion deck and know exactly what to do with it the first time. Normally you have to play it a couple times. Bono took me like 50 reps to even feel like I was close to understanding it, so I think something matching those stats might put me in a similar position.
Can't confirm. Bono is a nightmare to play blind.
Not that you have to play it, but and then maybe moving to the Evil Twin. The other Evil Twin, I mean.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah,
the
yeah.
Cat Burglar.
Yeah. And also, Jolker says that DT doesn't have any good decks, right?
It's true.
Yeah,
Not a single one.
They don't exist.
A Dark Tidings deck has never won a single game of KeyForge against anything other than a Dark Tidings deck.
That's what the legends say.
Can confirm.
So we can move on to Cat Burglar.
And Joker, I really do love that house combo as well, which is the same house combo of the Evil Twin of the Cat Burglar of Tillybrook. You get that incredibly undersassed double Witch of the Dawn in both decks, which is really, really nice. This one's a bit faster, but it has a very, very low amber production rate, and it also doesn't have like crazy stats in any other regard. Again, it's that recursion and the speed and those decisions where like its SAS points are coming from and its value as a deck. This one in particular I think is very SAS undervalued, so it went 5-1 in an unlimited. It went in Jokers in the Vault Warrior. It went 5-1 against unlimited Dark Tidings. It has a really good Dark Tidings versus Dark Tidings. I can confirm that when you look through the algorithm, there doesn't seem to be a. I think certain sets are more likely to produce different spider charts, but like if you put in a Dark Tidings, you're not guaranteed to get like Dark Tidings kind of stuff, you know? Yeah, just to be clear there. But I do think like SAS underrates its recursion. It underrates like its ability to like build up plays over time. Another interesting thing is that the creature control is rated as low, but this deck has a recycling General Sherman. So the creature control is actually much higher than SAS sees it. What's interesting from that, from a perspective of this format, is that this is a 19 creature deck with a good board. So if it has the ability to do the C, and it also has the ability, to kind of take away the C of my opponent due to the mirrored AERC distribution, I think that could put me in a good place. So, and again, it has that recursive trait, which is really nice. Yeah, I'm really happy with this deck. I've got it's just something I pulled. Like it was just in like I got like 2 displays of Dark Tidings when it came out, and it was just one of the ones in there. Really love playing this deck. So I think a huge part of this, you only get 2 decks. So I feel like you really would just want to bring stuff that you enjoy playing. I think that if you bring something you enjoy playing, you really can't lose in this format. I kind of thoroughly believe that.
Sherman is wet AF, Kutzer. I agree. The Sherman in this deck is oppressive.
One of the highlights for me in KeyForge was during Swindle Sassbound. I played against Jay Philippeg's 61 Sass gen deck. It's like a recycling gen deck that draws the whole thing out and keeps on spitting Binding Irons at you. This deck won that game at 17 chains. Because it like the Sherman kept recurring and like ate up his board, and like it didn't, like I just kind of kept on archiving stuff off of the Hydra cataloger, which I'm like, that's sort of as good as drawing cards.
Yeah, I mean, if you archive enough, you're fine.
The Howling Pet is an interesting card in Dark Tidings, I think, because it lets you take some chains that you might not otherwise be able to take.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's mine. Maybe you want to wrap about yours a little bit.
Absolutely. So let us bring them up here. So the ones I brought today are the Crude Soothsayer Judge, which is one of my very first decks, and then Bobbeth the Bright. This is one I've played many times. It is I've lost with it a lot more than I won with it at the beginning. When I first opened, I couldn't win with the deck for the life of me. But just because I was a brand new player and there's just like a lot going on in the deck.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a deck where it was in a very rewarding journey as a KeyForge player, because it was very much I played the deck until I understood it, and then it sort of it felt like the deck was unlocked for me in the sense that I was, like I was like, oh, I finally understand how this deck works now.
Yeah.
And then obviously, so this is a one of those things where if I had the option to change any of the cards in here, I'm not entirely certain I would. Just because it does feel well constructed, to say, since the biggest pieces here are the rares. The rares are a big piece here. We've got Knowledge is Power, we've got Mobius Scroll, United Action, Book of LeCue, Fertility Chant, and all of those are very important pieces to the deck. The main goal of the deck in general is to get good value out of the United Actions. Or sorry, good value of United Action. Hopefully you see it more than once a game, but the speed at 18 is true sometimes, because depending on how the book, when the book shows up, how the book shows up, you may never actually be using it except for in like, limited scenarios. So the speed can be a little bit overrated, but it's got a Data Forge and it has a KeyFrog with a Fangtooth Cavern, 2 zaps, and an infighting. So there's lots of ways to pop the KeyFrog the turn you play it. You can either pop it through a United Action with a zap, or you can pop with the infighting or the Fangtooth Cavern. As well as on top of that, the one thing you can do, which I have done before, is if stuff lines up right, you can on a United Action turn you can play KeyFrog, pop it with a zap to forge a key, and then bring it back with a Witch of the Dawn to forge your second key at the end of the turn. So this deck can also depending how the draws line up, it can also get the Data Forge off fairly cheaply with the Mobius Scrolls and the Theory of Conjecture, along with the Knowledge is Power. So this is a very interesting deck. It's a combo / rush deck. It's very, very fun.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the few games I've played with it. I really like that the Lay of the Land's enable the Book of LEQ.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a really, really nice, just like, it's just fun that all lines up, and like you said, like, the payoff for a big United Action is essentially the end of a game. Like, and I love decks that can, like, be a game ender like that.
Absolutely, and it's also, it's nice because it can pivot, too. If the matchup you're in, like, if you're against a rush deck that won't afford you any time to set up a good United Action, because it has 4 artifacts across the 3 houses with Fangtooth, Mobius Scroll, Isotropic Core, and Book. It's very often the United Action is pretty much always live, and so you can always
wants to know if this is a constructed deck.
This is
Is this a KeyForge Unchained deck?
This is KeyForge Unchained. Yeah, this is this is actually a preview of the new Unchained decks in the Game Found. This is what they look like. This is the only thing they look like.
So one last question for you before you go to your other deck. How do you feel about playing against another deck that has 16 pips and 18 speed?
A little scared. Not gonna lie, I'm a little scared because there's also a 2.4 recursion.
Yeah.
So it's definitely one of those things where I could get hard because the amber control is fairly low. It's a 6.7, 6.7 amber control, 9.4 C. The amber control I've in practice is much better than 6.7.
Yeah.
However, same with the creature control is usually a bit better than it's actually probably sitting around 9.4. That's probably pretty accurate.
Yeah.
So I'm sort of hoping that I know R is not correlated either, else that'd be very good for me if R was correlated.
Yeah. Yeah, very important thing to say, to clarify. R is the only AERC metric that is not mirrored by the algorithm. The reason for that is, of course, we wanted to maintain the original balance of the game. We didn't want somebody to bring a Heart of the Forest deck with pure impunity against artifact control, of course.
Yeah. Yep. And so if you do bring any artifact-dependent decks, there's nothing saying there isn't a Reclaim by Nature, a Neutron Shark, or anything like that in your Doppelgangers.
Yeah, distribution is the same as it is in the game. So maybe, depending on the metrics, I mean, there might be some influence that is greater than random chance, but not by much.
True.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean that's a good point. That's a very it's a good thought experiment, Joker, and certainly you can feel free to submit them. Once Peeps is asking if ARC if it just ARC, or does the algorithm also look at the speed and board stats? Like, does it look at all these things on the?
So it looks at the entire everything that's on the spider chart is mirrored. So we're talking about effective power, we're talking about amber control, creature control, expected. So expected amber, recursion, efficiency, disruption, creature protection, effective power, creature control, not the artifact control, and amber control. So all of that is mirrored.
And then are the card type is number of actions, creatures, artifacts, upgrades also?
That is not mirrored, but is highly correlated, because that's going to be mirrored in effective power. For example, if you have 22 creatures, the effective power should be,
Yes, of course.
higher. But that was why I decided not to mirror that. I also wanted to preserve a bit of random variation. I don't want them to be exactly the same, so we're looking at, for SAS, we're looking at half a standard deviation, and all these stats are set at a certain set deviation in order to preserve some of the randomness that we enjoy in the game. The other thing, it does not replicate printed amber, but the printed amber should hypothetically be reflected in your expected in one way or another, even if it's not in printed. Expected should mirror that stat, so again we decided not to do that.
So the number of pips very well could be different.
Yeah, the number of pips could be different, but the expected is going to be the same.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good for Judge, because the pips, I mean, your deck performs well beyond 22 expected.
Oh, absolutely.
In terms of the ability to pop off, which is pretty nice.
Yeah. And then because Joker was saying if he put some of his very, very oddball, AREC decks into the algorithm. And I know it was pretty good with basically because looking through some of the doppelgangers that the algorithm supplied for me, I was suitably impressed with how close they seemed to mimic Judge's playstyle. I haven't played a ton of them, so it'd be interesting to play against one. But I did at least on the surface level, on the ones I looked at, I was suitably impressed with what the algorithm was able to put out.
I will say one thing on that, and then I'll answer Joker's question here. My first thought in testing kind of the efficacy of this was okay, what if I just put in one of my best decks, which is Professor Essa. It's a combo Coda Crazy Rush thing, and I was okay, what if I just did that and I could just run through anything that I put, and then the first deck that I click on that it got doppelgangered is a hard disruption Gen Kaka. It actually it was so fascinating, because it's those metrics replicated another OTK kind of style.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I really thought that it might, the way to get it might be through really unique combos and stuff, but it seems that isn't quite how to do it. Now, Joker's question is asking about insanely unique decks, which is something I'm going to address. So yeah, because there's only 132 decks with 26 printed amber, right? So if your deck is so completely anomalous, that it is just like, it is the... It would be hard. The only way to do it would be to put in something that was like, 100 billion SAS, or the very, very lowest, right? Like the absolute extremity of the game, and then is also has a really atypical AERC distribution.
Right, of course.
So there's when we run those through the algorithm, it basically says like, it just like leaves some spots blank. Basically, you're just gonna have like less than 100, most likely. But it's not as it's not as like low as low as you would think. But there are millions of decks, so in terms of AERC distribution, most decks are not as unique as you would fear. But like we might end up with like 90 something instead of 100, because it's just so the way the algorithm actually works. It takes the 500 most similar decks by the metrics that we're talking about within the standard within the standard deviations that we're talking about. So it takes 500 of them, and then randomly selects 100 from those given 500. And the idea is to introduce a little bit more variability. So these are not like the 100 absolute closest, but it's actually a little more subtle than that in order to give a little more spice to the event, basically.
Right. That makes sense.
But let's maybe look at your deck too.
Yeah, we can take a look at Bobith.
Yeah, no problem, Joker. You're hanging with Swindle in this event too, so gotta make sure you're prepped.
That is true. Joker is an honorary Swindle team member.
Yep. Otherwise, we wouldn't answer you.
Yeah. Only Swindle members get their questions answered.
Right.
So here for my this deck is I have Bobith the Bright. And Bobith is a deck that it's a Dark Tidings, 68. It is it's a deck that when I first opened it, it felt I've been playing the game for fairly not like super long, but like I've been playing the game for a few months, so I had like a bit of a handle on it. And I'm playing this deck, and I was like, man, this deck just like it doesn't feel good to play. And then so I kind of like had it put aside, and I was like, oh, well, like, just put it down, and maybe I'll revisit it later. And then I joined Kagi, and there I was like, the whole point of Kagi, which I am now I'm the one running it now. But the whole point of Kagi is, it's KeyForge as Garfield intended, in the sense that instead of, picking the deck to win, you just pick any deck and you try and win with it. Or, yeah, I think the code is, instead of picking the deck that they think has the best chance to win, they just pick any deck and try and win with it. And so that sort of was like, well, this is a deck that I hadn't, I wanted to revisit, and I didn't have a super good time doing, so I was like, well, I'll play this for the season of Kagi. And since then, it's not an ARP. I don't have 150 games on it, but it has grown to become a deck that I quite enjoy. In adaptive settings, it's not a deck that I necessarily enjoy outside of adaptive. Like I have played this at my locals, like in casual tabletop games, but doesn't feel nearly as good to play because the whole point of Bobith is it's a very board dependent deck, and it can do a lot of cool things. It's got flash freeze, and predominantly it's the Sanctum and Star Alliance that are the main houses, and you've got Unfathomable as a sort of off house, with Urian the Circumspect and CXO Tabor being the highlights of the deck. Because on Urian, you've got a Larry the Lake, you have a Teresa, and you have a Shieldulator, as well as lots of good taunt. So often, what you can do is you can get, a Teresa onto the Urian, next to either maybe a Flamegill Enforcer or Horde Sign-In, or next to a Seabringer Krakoa, and then you've got a Star Alliance person on the other side, and you can reap on a good day. You can just reap with Urian for 5 every turn, which is pretty good if that actually goes off. So, but it's really slow. At 0.5 speed, the efficiency is in Tabor and the biome discoveries. The Stranger Ordination is a nice little bit of burst. It's got 14 pips. It has a Maelstrom too, but the problem with the Maelstrom in this deck is it's not fast. It has no play abilities, and you're very reticent to Maelstrom your own board to put those creatures back on top because it's so board dependent. I know Orion, who's in chat, they've played against Bobith, and that was against their slightly beefy Amir, which is a very interesting match.
That is interesting.
So, and I've become because I played it so much in Kagi, I'm very comfortable with it, and I do understand very well how it operates in matchups, and I also understand how it operates under chains. So which is handy for Dark Tidings, right? With the Dark Tidings, you're basically getting extra practice with operating under chains because of the natural tide raisings. So I do quite like Bobith just because I'm really familiar with it for this event, because I've been playing against decks that are very similar, and if I'm the one who's piloting a very similar deck but this has some really nice tricks like the Tabors and the Urians, then we can hopefully use that, knowledge of the matchup to win.
Great. And with that said, maybe we get to game 1 here.
Absolutely. So we will roll. So it'll be. Do you want to do? Do you want to do a D2?
Yeah. So we'll do Poly D2. I'll do this right in chat. So in the Swindle Team Events chat, Poly D2. 1 will be me. 2 is Murph. So we are going to play my game first. I need to decide a deck. I am going to go... I'm going to go with Cat Burglar.
Okay.
And then the next step, we'll do exclamation point, Poly D100. Note that you'll have to add 3 to it, or like whatever the rows are. I'll figure out how to delete those on the spreadsheet for our moment. Here, we're looking at 29 plus 3 there, so you're going to go to row number 32.
You're able to scroll all the way down there?
For my Swindle Test Run column 2. So
there 32. We go. So I'll pull that deck up on stream. So this is the Doppelganger of Cat Burglar, and we have Scorptoro, the Snake of the Harbor. It's a good name.
No, you can never play your deck against the Bee's Doppelganger. Like, the Doppelganger will always match the deck. Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the Doppelgangers will always match. So if I'm playing Judge, my opponent's Doppelgangers will be the Judge Doppelgangers. If I'm playing Bobith, then my opponent's Doppelgangers, the deck that my opponent playing will be the Doppelganger of Bobith. So each player gets to play one game with one of the decks that they brought, and then you play one game with a Doppelganger of one of your opponent's decks. And then points are based off of, you get more points for winning with Doppelgangers than you do for winning with your own deck. This deck looks really good.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no. Like while you were, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to like almost butt in a few times. I'm just sitting here looking at this list, and I am so excited. What is the randomly decided element? What do you mean by that? Maybe you could clarify. While Quick Draw clarifies, can we talk about how Sharkamedes is like the closest thing to a recurrent Sherman that exists in the rest of the KeyForge? Like, that is so cool. Okay,
oh, so the random, so yes, so the randomly decided element is which doppelganger your opponent will be playing. So there's a list of under this will probably be cleaned up a little bit in terms of visuals, but the so this is your decks, this is Karen's decks, these are mine. So underneath these, there's a list of 100 doppels or 100 doppelgangers, and you're rolling a D100 to decide which of these 100 doppelgangers your opponent will be playing. If that makes sense.
Right. But yeah, I am so excited that it popped, that the algorithm decided that a Sharkamedes was like the closest thing to that recurring Sherman. It's a really good analog.
Yeah, it is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good analog to what I'm doing, where you just like consistently have access to creature control if you're careful about it. You've got the low expected, so do I. I am more than ready to play this.
Yeah, I have to add this to my Crucible, and then we should be good to go.
Yeah. Yeah, it is really nice. I've been consistently impressed by the algorithm. And like I said, we're not doing anything super mega fancy here, right? Like, it is just matching the AERC distributions. The goal that I was working on in collaboration with David, the data scientist that did the coding for this, collaborator a lot, we're looking at, producing a website eventually that you can use to be like, oh, I like playing this deck. What else is out there that's like that? And we'll have like, you can adjust the tightness of the fit. Or maybe you can say like, I like playing the style of deck, but I have it at like 60. What would the 80 SAS version of that look like? Yep. Where do you like, okay, similar like statistically like distributed AERC chart, but like pump up the SAS range a little bit and see kind of what that would look like. So there's a lot of opportunity this. I'm really excited about this in order to like help people view, huge collections in different ways. And I think that there's a lot of maneuverability in this for like formats that are not just this event. So I encourage you to, think about how you might use it yourself, actually, or like, what you would want to see it do in its final implementation. So just shouting that out to chat.
Joker says he doesn't want to think about how many hours he'd spend on that site.
I mean, it will have a yeah, I kind of hear you there.
Yeah, it would be greater than 0.
Greater than 0. Okay. The evil twin of cat burglar.
There we go. I mean, I already spend, sometimes just spend too much time on decks of KeyForge as it is.
Oh my god, yeah, just like... But I realized, like, I mean, the impetus for this was essentially, like, I spent a lot of time on decks of KeyForge essentially doing that. Which you can, like, sort of pseudo-do it by, like, setting your, oh, like, I want, the expected to be at least this, and I want the artifact control to be at least this and that and the other thing, but it's like... So, what if we really streamline that process and provided a complementary feature to DOK, which everyone already loves,
Mm-hmm. It's already beloved.
Got an Igor turn 1. Oh, man. What a cool AOA, by the way. Can we just, like picked out of nowhere? That is so cool.
Man, I don't know.
Scorptoro. Also, can we talk about the name? Scorptoro, the snake of the harbor.
That's what That's what I was saying. It's such a cool name.
I'm sorry if I didn't hear you there. I didn't mean that.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
It's a damn cool name.
It's a damn cool name. So we're gonna start with an unfathomable turn. Give that Igor an exhaust.
Spooky.
Get 2 Taunters out here with a Evil Hard sign-in and a Seabringer Krakoa.
Man, the thing with this AOA deck, you just know, there's stuff going on here that I don't. I'm not appreciating. So we'll call Sanctum.
I appreciate that you don't appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Oh, purge the Krakoa.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's such a good answer.
That's gonna
So what
bridge
does
your
that?
Sherman at some point.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I'm like, shit. I totally missed that card on the list. I was like, oh wow. Okay.
Cameron was lost in the Wonder of Archimedes. It was all part of the plot.
Oh my god, no doubt. Nothing will cause me to stare in bewilderment faster than Archimedes.
Okay, how about this? All right, call Logos Eureka. And we go check.
Pretty good. I'm actually, I gotta be honest, I'm gonna be more excited if I lose this game than if I win it.
Facts. You're gonna have to track down the owner of this deck.
But I got my own answer here. Look at how mirrored this is, though. Boom. Okay, 6 amber. My turn. Your turn. 6 amber. Your turn.
You sure didn't want to go up to 7 there?
I did not.
You sure?
Pretty. Sounds like you got a Ronnie.
I do have a Ronnie.
Sag, as you say. I think is
Sag.
the term.
That is that's what the kids say these days.
Oh, the big shadows. Oh man, I'm loving this game. Loving this game. Okay. We go fish again.
Oh no, big fish.
Don't take the archive. Okay, so. I will first play Sink or Swim to exhaust
Oh, that's good.
these guys. And then I take the Tide. That'll archive a card for me.
Tide taken.
And then Tidal Wave gives it to you. We'll archive a card for you.
That's actually very kind of you. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, I do the best for my teammates. And then we'll also exhaust that Ronnie. We'll go to 8 now. 3 chains. 6 cards with Howling Pit down.
I wonder. We'll call Logos.
Where's your Sharkamedes now?
Oh, right
no.
here.
Right here, you got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Oh, sh.
So first we will pop your Frigorific Rod, and we'll pop the Ronnie. That was it.
Oh.
That was it.
That's some good news.
That's some good news.
For yours truly. Okay, well, I will happily take my key here.
Watch out, because, the shark's still out there.
Shark still is out there, and this seems to present quite an issue for me.
I hope so.
Because it's right next to that
Archimedes, yeah. It really does present quite a conundrum.
Okay, so I'm gonna actually go untamed here.
Bold. It's a bold move, Cotton.
Okay, so we can do persistence hunting to exhaust the Logos.
Okay, not bad, not bad.
The main reason for that turn. That will actually be it.
Well, I'm gonna call Shadows. So bold, you might even say it's wild. So we're gonna call Shadows, and we're gonna take the archives. So first things first is we're gonna life for a life, sacking the shark to kill.
Oh, that's very good.
6 damage, right?
Yeah.
I think we kill your Rust Miser. And we get this Ronnie down. We get this Knuckles Bolton down. Knuckles Bolton, you think it's Sherman feeding time soon? Very possibly. The Knuckles Bolton on Dexa KeyForge is one of the biggest boosters you can possibly have for effective power. Yeah, it's actually nuts. It gives it like a 9 effective power or something, because elusive and skirmish all do that. So I'm gonna purge your sign in.
Okay. All right. Well, it is Sherman time. I
Okay,
must
stop
admit.
it with the fish.
The fish is all I got. It's all that's left here. We will eat all that up. You will play your shark to kill it again.
Why would I do that this turn?
I don't know. If you're not going to, that's fine too.
Well, no, because I know you've got those witches in hand.
Nah. Not me.
We'll call Logos. We'll take our archives. Play Igor. Yeah, I think we're actually pretty happy to take that. And then we play our second Archimedes.
Oh.
Play our shark. Get your Sherman. Kill that. Choose your creature to put into play. So we take...
That's so... Oh, now you can put the... Oh, that's so cool.
So now we take the Ronnie on the right. And then we put the... Yeah. Igor on the right. Archimedes on the right. Chow on the right. Knuckles. Put that there. And I discarded memory chip, so it's back over to you.
Okay. That was really, really cool.
Yeah, that's really good. So there's some really fun interactions.
Okay.
None of us are gaining any amber.
No, that's not what these decks are about.
I have
I'm
high
going
tide, by the way.
Yeah. Archive a card.
Just wait for my Desania.
Don't fuck with me like that. Left the link right away. I'm like, no.
One card one card left in draw. Hasn't seen it yet.
Nani?
Could you imagine? That's so brutal. So here I think we do call Logos again.
Joker says 2 Archimedes versus 2 Evil Witch is so cool to watch, and I could not agree more. Could not agree more. I'm letting, quote unquote, take this. I'm letting you take this turn because your draw is empty.
Ah, but you've forgotten about.
Ah, no.
Yes, you've forgotten.
I did.
You did.
Alright. Oh, man.
So first we kill the Edai.
It was all a ruse.
And then we kill this Igor. And then we'll kill your... What do we kill here? We kill your... I think we have to kill your Seedbringer so you can't do the Witched combo as easy. So we'll kill that. We'll kill the Ronnie. We'll resolve that first, and then that did hit Eureka.
Okay.
Okay, so I pass back to you with a monster hand.
You really do. Okay. I need to load them out there.
The Evil Witch of the Dawns have not showed up though yet. Was hitting the Seedbringer there the right call?
I think it's a lot more complicated than right or wrong on that one.
Right.
Not to like dodge the question.
Oh God. There goes all my amber.
I don't know what I would have done, to be honest with you.
Because it feels like your artifacts
really
are like the only freak I care about is Rod, but You know?
Yeah.
How sad would you
Gonna
be if I
use
had Heart of the
this
Come
now.
right now?
Not very, because I'm thinking
Oh,
back
right,
to-
you just waste onto that. Yep, yep.
because I get to determine the order of the board. But I must say this is not the end of this combo, as you probably imagine.
I am fully aware.
Yeah.
Is a detriment to playing this deck on TCO the number of clicks you have to do?
Yes, very much. So we're going to resolve Chelonia first. Which kills which.
I know, Joker. The Shark Fizzles are super disappointing.
The
It's only gotten like
Chelonia,
1 to 2 hits off of it every time.
I'll put a Way of the Pixie on that. Get down the best card in KeyForge, Chonkers.
Chonk.
And Floomp. My biggest disappointment of Mass Mutation is that Floomp cannot add to Chonkers.
Because
Missed
a mutant.
opportunity, but that is a nice turn from my deck.
I mean, it's a nice turn, but it'd be a shame if it, you know.
You got it?
Do I have what?
Can you purge it?
No, I don't.
Ah.
I wish. I wish. No, but I think we just call Sanctum. Play Take Hostages. Oh, no, we don't take Archives. Play Take Hostages. We play Mother Northel. We play Albade. Play Albade. Play Hadros Wall.
I didn't. I didn't see that coming.
And then I'll fight your Chonkers.
Wow. Well
You
done.
never see that. You never see the Chonk.
I'm
massive-
impressed.
Yeah.
Every time I think that you won't have an answer, you do.
I do. It do be like that.
Uh,
They think it don't be
Wow.
like that, but it do.
what do I do? Yeah.
Why does this have 4 amber on it? Oh, because of the
Take hostages.
Yeah, take hostages. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we just took like almost identical turns where we like had a huge hand, totally drained each other's amber, negated like the biggest combo that each other's deck can kind of do.
But
I'm gonna-
mine's all captured. Mine's just yeeted out of the game.
yeah, I mean, I prefer it totally gone, but you know, who am I to
Everyone has
who
a
am I to
preference, I guess.
judge your preferences?
Yeah, exactly. We'll call Sanctum here again, just so to make sure you don't get the amber back.
Right.
So first we're gonna Hallowed Shield this one just cause. Hallowed Shield value.
Yeah, of course.
And then we're gonna play Blinding Light and stun your Logos.
I will say to Joker, I think that this, if the game does turn out favorably for me, the Shark Fizzles were a huge part of me not, like, I don't know if I would have been able to do what I've done so far without them.
Certainly, yeah.
I'll Reap with Sherman, gaining 2.
That is reasonable. Wait, you only gain 1 with Sherman.
So I have Way of the Pixie on it.
I cannot see that for the life of me.
Yeah.
Wait,
so I'm gonna.
That's all. It doesn't show up in the log.
Oh, interesting. Well, it says it uses Sherman to gain 1, so like the Reap is 1. and then
Oh,
uses
got
to
it.
gain,
Yeah. I see.
Uh,
Yeah, it's
we'll
hidden behind all my cards.
Right.
Is there any way to see everything that is this everything, or are there more?
It's just that one upgrade. We're gonna use Storm Surge to prevent you from readying anything. Keep you from drawing that card.
That's fair, Joker. So here we'll call Shadows. Take our Archives.
Okay.
First things first is we play Ronnie. We play Nerve Blast.
Oh wow.
And then we will play Bad Penny. We will play Oubliette and purge your E-die. Get that down. Get that down. We'll put the Dusk Runner onto Gamgee. And then we'll Life for a Life. The Bad Penny. And what am I smacking the shit out of here? Because it doesn't kill Sherman. I think we just do that.
Okay.
And I'll discard the penny. The penny served their purpose well.
So check at 11 is huge.
Yeah, it's a big check.
I'm going to reek with the floof. I'm going to play Waste Not to kill Sherman.
Mm-hmm. Reasonable.
Drawing a few cards. And I'm going to give you back.
I'm so glad Sherman says put into play.
Oh yeah, no, that would be
I mean, it would just be a bad card if it.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
Now we do this.
Sherman 2.0. I think there's a lot of really nice I don't know, I think the design space in Dark Tidings is really nice.
Yeah, and I agree. Doubles Felonia is going to trigger a few times.
When do we? No, Joke says, when do we take up a collection for Karen to afford a new mouse after all these clicks?
Sorry if the clicks are annoying here.
Oh, I think they're purely just sorry for you, Karen.
Oh well, no, don't feel bad for me. I love clicking. It is my thing.
Okay, well, so this has been a lot. We're gonna call Sanctum. I'm gonna play the harder they come, and I'm going to purge your Sherman. Get that out of here. So then we get the Sharkamedes. So first we put down this, and then we put down.
Now your turn to click. Isn't it fun?
Oh, it's lots of fun. I'm actually worried. This mouse double clicks sometimes, so I'm switching to my trackpad.
Okay.
And then it's Ronnie. And then it's Igor. And then it's going to be Gamgee. It's going to be a Yancey gang. It's going to be a Knuckles. It's going to be a Chow. It's going to be a Brain Eater. And then it's going to be a Flumph. Armadrone. Yep. Like that. Go order that slightly better. But then what we're gonna do is we're gonna Hallowed Shield the shark. We're gonna smite the shark.
Oh, that's cool. Oh my god, that is so
cool. We're gonna fight here, and we're going to
Are you kidding me?
destroy.
Oh, that is so wicked.
We're going to destroy your... That'll kill that one, it'll kill that one.
Okay,
So...
is everybody clear on what just happened and how cool that was?
That was very cool.
Sherman gets purged, puts everything back, Murph sets up the line, plays Smite to fight with the Shark into an elusive to trigger its Shark immediates on a Sanctum turn. Oh man.
To be fair, I actually could have done this better, because I have Hallowed Shield. So
Yeah,
I could have put Chonkers in the middle, and between the two Chelonias to get the Smite damage on both of them. With Neutron Shark killing the Chonkers, and not taking damage at the same time.
Oh god, that is so cool.
So, but I forgot about the Hallowed Shield after I did the ordering.
Right. But you still might kill them both, but yeah, that would be optimal.
So, this is happening before the fight. This is a before fight. Oh no. Right?
Oh, what's a before fight?
Because I'm wondering how this resolves.
Which?
Because the Smite happened, right? And the Shark is fighting. And then Smite says... So I'm wondering if I kill the middle Chelonia before the Smite resolves, does the splash damage still occur?
The splash damage is going to occur, but we have Isotropic Core here, which is going to be a problem for you.
Well, not if I kill it first.
Yeah. Indeed.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Shark Fizzle again! That's actually reasonable. There we go, that did work.
Yeah, okay, and then you unfortunately hit a Logos card.
So you do Forge here.
Yeah, okay.
I only had like 4 cards left in deck, so.
Right.
Yeah, only 3 cards left in the so it was bound to happen. I'm actually just very happy it happened at the end and not right away. I
will go Logos and Data Forge.
Oh, actually, the Isochop. Oh, okay. Well,
that was awesome.
That was awesome, man. Oh, man. Man, come on. That was actually really cool. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the amount of
Both of these decks are doing wild things.
Yeah. I think an earlier Sherman Purge might equal a loss for me in that
I think so.
particular.
Yeah.
The other thing is if some of the Sharks didn't fizzle, like if you just had one that went nuts, it would have been a lot harder at very least. But I was getting my consistent waste not into the Sherman, which I gotta say was pretty damn cool. But either way, I mean every interaction in that was so unbelievably interesting to me.
Yeah, those are really fun games.
Yeah, that was just one. So we have our second half of the format here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we're gonna move to Murph's deck. But before we do you want to do the announcement now?
I wasn't sure if you want to do it now. If you wanted to do it, Oh, I'm sorry, Jolker. You just got timed out by the auto moderator. I know. I saw something about being about a memory chip.
So for wow, you have a bind. Oh man, there were a lot of ways to get me.
Oh yeah, the binary rupture it did. I think this is the only time this showed up.
But yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay announcing now. If you're up for it.
Joker was also saying he was freaking out because it mirrored chip and cataloger as well for archiving.
Yep. Yeah, no, I mean it's pretty cool.
And Library of Babel plus Howling Pit.
Yeah, I mean there were a lot of similarities. The creature amounts were pretty equal. The deck quality was pretty interesting. I think you're at a disadvantage, which is why the wins count for more. But you had cards that would have let you win.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think there was a really surprising amount of good answers to specifically Cat Burglar in this one deck.
Yeah, no,
one of the biggest hate cards of being literally Oubliette and Heart of the Come.
Yep. Yeah, you had ways to purge the small things and purge the big things. That is a huge deal to get rid of some of that recursion. They just didn't quite line up for you.
Yeah, like if Ublia had shown up, like it's in my hand now, but if Ublia had shown up to purge one of the Witch of the Dawns,
Mm-hmm.
or if the Heart of the had come had showed up any time sooner to get rid of the Sherman,
Yeah.
one of the
I mean,
Sherman loops would have been a lot.
Yeah. No, yeah, if you were, let's say I played the early Sherman and like you just draw it at the right time, or if you held Harder They Come, I think that could honestly be enough, because like your boards were starting to get really scary.
Yeah, no, well I saw the Heart of the come in the opening hand.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw it in the opening hand and then didn't see it again until the end.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking like maybe it's so high value that you like literally take the chain for it.
That is fair. I think that would have been like a 4 or 5 turn chain though.
Yeah.
So
it's just a thought. I could be like totally not right about it, but it's just something that occurred to me. I'm like, if that happened, that would be the worst case scenario for me.
it's definitely one of those things where it's thinking about you're thinking about after the match, like, oh man, should I have held that just the whole time? You know, or else I would have won. But
That's really interesting. Announcement?
sure, you can take it away, Karen.
You want me to do it? I was going to ask you the same question. But yeah, I can start. Beginning on the last day of the GameFound stream, there's going to be like a big stream for GameFound, like the last day of the, in support of the GameFound thing. We're not sponsored by them. And starting on that, Murph and I are starting a new channel called Swindle's Dust Chronicles. So Dust Chronicles is going to be a channel that we consistently stream on together once a week. And we're going to have Swindle team members and other KeyForge players on as guests for recurring chapters of the Chronicles, giving everybody like their own themes that they want to focus on, really like highlighting different aspects of the game. But yeah, Murph and I have streamed together a couple times. We're hanging out a lot and playing games, and I just could not have like somebody that I'm just happier to be streaming with. Just good guy, really into the game, very, very, very excited. So
Yeah, it should be a ton of fun. I think it'll be nice to have. Obviously, I've been streaming my league matches, and having some people come out for that, and just having a bit of a more regular time frame, and sort of being able to build a bit more of a schedule into that. It's gonna be really nice. So I'm absolutely very excited. I'm very excited to. I know one of the things we're going to be doing is highlighting our Swindle teammates. So I'm absolutely very excited to have them on and sort of give them a platform. And I know we've got some really cool ideas cooking for series we're going to be doing with them, and that'll all be going on. Obviously, we're going to have the Twitch channel in which we're going to be streaming and having a live space, and then we're also going to have the Dust Chronicles as a YouTube channel as well, where we'll have archives of our Twitch streams and everything else, and other focus content as well.
yeah, it is. It's going to be a ton of fun. And speaking of a ton of fun, let's get to game 2 here. So right now, I would be up 1 point if I manage to win. With the scoring system, it's the same as Newton. So if I manage to win this game, I would get rewarded with a 3-0. If we tie, it'll be a 1-1. So.
Me too, Ketzer. I'm also glad you quit your job and now you can have more time to hang out. Yeah, absolutely, Orion. I think we're in a really nice time of KeyForge content creators. Sort of, because it was happening before we had any information that the game was even coming back. Like me, yourself, Orion, Dinobot, obviously Amber Medius has been going strong this whole time. But no, it's honestly just been so nice to see. And yeah, we're in a bit of a KeyForge content renaissance. And I think the more we can have some collaboration. I know obviously we had our Kage match, but just the more we get that, I think the better it'll be for the community.
We have a question from 1-star Peeps. Same as Newton. I thought there was a bonus for winning with the Doppel. Okay. So the bonus for winning with the Doppel only serves as a tiebreaker. So if I win both games, I get 3-0. If we go 1-1, we each get 1 point. If our teams have the same number of wins after the entire round, so all 3 games occur, and the point totals are the same, then you go to who has more Doppelganger wins. If one team has more Doppelganger wins, they take the round. If both teams have the same during the regular season, it will be a draw. And there is a tiebreaker for the playoffs. That is also baked into it. Basically, there will be one extra game played in the playoffs in order to break that tie. But that is how that will go down. Does that make sense?
And then we'll also be hoping to have enough players in the league to make an impact on the core rankings. So if you are thinking about it, make sure to sign up. You could end up on the KeyForge Online rank system.
Yep, the ranking system, and also, there's not technically a threshold, but we want the event large enough to justify a KFPL invitation that is already attached to the event. So we really do want to, pump up the size of this league.
Yep, I know we have a good number of people signed up already. So if you are thinking about it, check it out and sign up. And I'll link that in the chat once again. We do have a command for that. And the link in there will bring you to the announcement page.
So I am going to roll the, so the way that you type this is exclamation point, poly D100, which I'll have written up in instructions, but, just for completeness, you can see that in the Swindle, in the chat of the Swindle team events. We're going to roll a 58, and that's going to be +3 in this case, so I will be playing deck 61. You haven't chosen a deck, but...
You can do it in Twitch chat, too. That's cool.
Oh, neat. Which deck are you bringing?
I'm really fascinated to see Judge. See what it brings up for Judge.
Is Judge your deck 1?
Yeah, Judge is deck 1.
Okay. Alright, so we got 61.
I know, Joker. There's so many KeyForge events.
I got Chipman, Yager, the Simeon, and Harry.
Wait, Joker, you are signed up for Swindle Team Events 4.
Yep, you are. Yeah, you're already signed up.
Yeah, you're part of the Swindle.
You're an honorary Swindle for this.
Yeah.
So I will.
So what is
I'm posting it in chat.
Oh, you're not here. Let me
I'm getting yelled at for posting links, my bad.
Yeah, you should be a mod now, I think.
Okay. Cool. Okay. But I did just post the deck. Is that visible now?
No.
Oh.
I do very much appreciate that, Joker.
I'll toss you the link in Discord.
Perfect.
So that is deck 61. You have given me a Genka, sir.
Oh, no, please no.
You have put
there you go.
In my hand. You have done this to yourself.
That's okay. Judge has beaten many a Genka before.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you can. I just
Judge, I think Judge has beaten. I think it was RH Hater's like double key abduction deck. I know it's beaten that one as well.
A quick thing I want to address that I haven't is if you get a mass mutation, you can put the enhancements wherever you want. So we're just rolling with that. I think playing the Doppel is enough of a disadvantage to justify just being able to put them wherever.
That's a reasonable. There we go. And the decks are linked in chat. So we've got Chipman, Yager, the Simeon, and Harry. That is.
It's some really good. We're really rolling high on the names here.
Wow, that's such good. Does the algorithm filter by name quality?
Absolutely.
That's the most important thing to me.
Okay. So we've already gone over your deck here, so I can talk about Chipman a little bit. We've got double memory chip with double wild wormhole. We're talking 20 speed, Martian generosity, key abduction, and multiple ways to get that thing archived. Double Archimedes can get more in archives for you. Maybe recurring that Ronnie with a life for a life. Too much to protect is going to keep your opponent, somewhat controlled there. Just having an answer to a big check. The amount of Amber control isn't great, but we do have, like I said, too much to protect Ronnie. Guard Disguise is actually really good for gen decks, because if you turn 1 it, you can get a free 3 Amber, and your opponent knows that they might be fueling a Generosity, so that's always a really nice thing. Double Mars Needs Amber is never unwelcome in a Genka deck, but it doesn't have a ton of ways to damage, so I'm already thinking through all the different ways that I can try to,
Whistling darts.
Yeah. Do we have? Yeah, okay, so we do have a Whistling Dart, sorry, yeah. I was more thinking in Mars, because it's like you need, you know what I mean?
Oh,
like
yeah. At that point,
so
you just
one
got
of those...
Tixel, got Beam Buckler, and that's it.
Yeah, I think this is a nice match for Judge, though, because these both have massive combos that they're trying to store up, archive for, prepare for.
That's a good point.
So I think...
One star.
Oh yeah, you're right. The double Beam Buckler. How did I miss that?
And,
I was thinking through.
Key Abduction lets you play the Beam Bucklers twice.
Yeah, that's not the worst deck I've ever seen. I'll put it that way.
If I open this, I would be very happy.
My hands would literally shake. If I open that.
Oh god, okay. Like I said, I don't think this is actually. I've got a game made.
Okay.
I don't think this is actually that rough a matchup for Judge. I don't think it basically depends. Do you hit Genka?
Yeah. And it depends on whether you hit your combos. Like, but I think, it's fair. Like, you brought a kind of Wombo combo deck and got a Wombo combo in exchange.
Absolutely. Yeah. I have a strong feeling that I'll be dealing with a lot of Genkas if I bring Judge.
That's interesting. Just like a similar kind of SAS distribution. You have to look through. All of the decks are available. Like these mirrored decks on that sheet are available via the Discord, and I believe Murph has posted them somewhere. I'm not sure. But,
I am not sure, but I will just link. I'll link the. No, it's in the announcement on the Swindle Team Events page.
Right.
And in the chat right here, I'll put the Google Docs, the Google Sheets.
Yep. I'm gonna play a Squadron, Mindworm, Zorg.
That's a Mars lineup.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Do you have Collector Worm? You've got Sample Collection, right?
Yeah, I got Sample Collection. I don't have Worm.
So Sample Collection is gonna let you abduct things.
It might.
That is admittedly, I mean, it's not ideal, but it's not the worst.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna start off with Theory, Conjecture, and Archive 2.
Okay.
Okay, not even bad.
Isotropic Core. I'll go Mars again. I'm gonna use Mindworm to
Fight.
deal the 2 damage.
That is why I put that in there.
Resolve that.
Ooh, that's good. I appreciate that. And then Mars.
Sky Boost.
Martian Generosity. Maybe.
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 The old Razzle Dazzle.
I'm actually considering just calling Untamed here. Reaping. And getting put the frog back in the deck.
Oof.
With.
Then the herd puts back Frog Flume. Yeah. That's not bad.
Because I think I don't really want you having the Sky Booster Squad Mars creatures out.
Mm-hmm.
And the frog, I'm fine to just toss out for later.
But I'm gonna play Wild Wormhole. It's gonna
For
play
investors.
Furtive. Yeah, gets me there.
Not even bad.
Not bad at all. Stop there.
Not super stoked about. Oh, you're gonna stop there, eh? Okay, we'll call Logos.
Yep, that's my last turn. I've done all I had to do to defeat you. So. All planned ahead.
Yeah, I wonder why that is. Yeah, so we'll get this done. To the left.
Oh, cool, the redraw on the Phyla. The way you used in the herd in that deck is really interesting.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely different than what I'm used to. You ready for some? I'm gonna raise the tide. Suck your Jenka.
It's immersive. Okay.
Kill the Zorg.
Oh, nice, nice, nice. Okay.
I think I have to keep your board clear of Mars creatures, even if it does give you the 1 amber back.
No, that's not bad. Not bad at all.
Are you gonna move the Yidai, or are you just gonna leave it there?
I moved it. I moved it. It wasn't on a flank. I did a flank.
Fair, fair.
Man, you know how you said like sometimes your deck is like actually 18 speed and other times it's not?
This is the time it's not.
No, I mean it's the same here though. Like I'm like I'm having that exact same feeling. I'm like I can tell how this could be 20 speed, but it is not right now. And that's interesting.
Yeah, no, it happens. Look how Starline's here.
That goes to Growing. Double Amber Vac is a good, nice Jinka answer.
Yeah, it's really not. It's not too bad at all.
Hmm.
My game fan tracker is 4K behind. How's that possible?
The stream has a tiny bit of lag.
That is true. The stream does have a tiny bit of
Just
lag.
due to the nature of streaming. We're gonna use this to fight with Beam Buckler here.
But I reloaded the page, so that should.
I'll kill that. I think that's pretty vital.
You sure about that?
I think killing one of the Ember Vacs feels somewhere adjacent to the important.
Fair. So I think we'll actually call Logos here. Take a turn off, kind of. I'm gonna actually reap.
Done.
Reap.
It's done.
And tuck this away like that.
Okay. I'm going to call Mars, and I will fight into the Deep Water Ruin, taking me to 5, Martian Generosity.
Yeah, there it is.
We can then play the key abduction, but I don't forge a key. But
Oh, you don't?
yeah.
Because you die.
Yeah, it's just I have to. Yeah. I can't like hold a card that's not going to do a ton for me. It's still worth having a billion cards in my hand, but
Yeah, no, totally. Intriguing.
well done.
Thank you. So here we'll call Untamed. F? Not an F. Not an F yet.
Guess I could have killed the Edai in a previous turn, but it didn't seem like not to like give away everything I'm doing, because like, I mean you know what I'm doing, but like I didn't want to give away damaged creatures. Edai kind of only helps me get the generosity off.
Yeah.
For high value. Okay. Fangtooth, that's cool. It'll get everything warded for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we going to play Life for Life here.
Scary. Hopefully the low A.
Horrifying.
You are in exactly the right house to take me off check here,
know.
but I only went to 6.
Getting a little bit of lag.
Yeah, I'm also getting a little bit of lag.
There we go.
But, yep. I mean, there's a reason. There's a reason I'm trying to go above 7.
Not getting the car off. Really brutal.
It is brutal.
What's chat thinking? Let me check chat.
Well, I think we'll actually call Star Alliance. Play on the left.
Hawkins, nice.
And then we can kill the Scowly. Kill your little Niff. Kill your... Oh, just deal 1 damage there.
Yeah.
Kill your Lemondra.
Tough but fair.
There it is.
Skirmish. I am
Yeah, isotropic core.
extremely dumb. At least Dito's dead. Honestly, that was the crucial thing there.
That is what they say. Yes, I think we call Untamed here.
I gotta say this, I mean, we are also streaming, which adds another set of, like, pressures and stuff, but, like, it's a kind of exhausting format. Like, not in a bad way, it's just, like, it's very demanding.
Oh.
Like,
can I, switch houses?
No.
Thank you, I'm gonna call Star Alliance.
I mean, are you feeling that same kind of, like, fatigue? Like, not in a bad way, just in, like, it's very, very demanding.
There's just, like, this is a lot going on.
Yeah, because you're just, like, this is a really complicated deck, and, like, playing it the first time against something that, like, it's funny because I actually know your deck, like, very well.
So here we're gonna play United Action.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, yeah.
Get ready for 9 consecutive cards of pure fun. Potentially 10.
So we're gonna play Lay of the Land.
Oh, never mind. More.
So, yeah, we're gonna do that, we're gonna do that. We're gonna Lay the Land.
Amber Pit, by the way.
Double Amber Pit, Lay the Land, yep. Easy. Play KeyFrog. We're gonna Infighting. Forge blue. I will be Witch of the Dawn. Bring back KeyFrog.
Oh, you got 2. Yeah.
KeyFrog.
I needed, like, some early chips in this game.
Fertility Chant. Information Exchange.
Oh my goodness.
Techno Babble there. Get that down on the right there. End my turn with 1 card in hand. Pop the KeyFrog. Forge red.
Oof.
Oh god. Okay.
Not my finest moment there. We get to archive a card here. I'll archive that. I think it's important for me to do that.
Marcy's Amber.
Potentially. Wormhole.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because you're getting down to pretty good chances here. Yeah, it is. Yeah, thanks, Anabot. That was a Judge doing good things there.
Yeah, it was an insane turn. Thank you. This is what I needed like early. It was like that logos.
Yeah.
Not like over, but it's kind of hard.
So here we're actually gonna call logos, and we're gonna.
At least that wasn't for key 2 and 3 on your end.
Yeah, no, that is true. So, I think we actually archive that. We archive that, and we can archive. Not that. Archive that. Go to 6.
Yep.
And put a bad penny back in your hand.
Nice.
I'm assuming we're gonna get Ronnie'd or something here.
Yangtze is gonna do the thing.
Oh yeah.
Furtive. Whistling. Toss the penny.
Okay, we'll call in Tamed here.
Don't you dare.
Don't I dare what?
You
Do I what?
you redraw that freaking frog.
What frog?
I'm gonna be.
This frog?
Oh no! I have no.
Oh, you mean this frog?
Oh, I have so many answers other than the key cheat. I've got the too much to protect. I've got the Mars needs Amber. I've got so many ways. Oh.
This frog is putting in the work.
Oof. Triple key cheat. Well, you know, yeah, I mean, good Dark Tidings showing today.
Yes.
I will say, I really think that I can win that game. I doubt you'd like totally disagree on that.
No. I think if you hit the key abduction, it changes the game, paces the game a lot.
Yeah.
The problem with your deck is the low expected amber. It seems. Or it doesn't even have low expected amber. I mean, I don't know what is it. What is the expected amber on it? 21? Yeah, because Judge has an expected amber of 22.
It wasn't what felt bad about it. I mean, honestly, it's like it got its answers. It's just you really had a great combo for 2 keys, and then you cheated the third. Like,
yeah, the getting 2 keys on the same turn with the frog, which is what I talk about.
Yeah.
About Judge doing, is just like, that is fine.
I don't think there's anything wrong with this deck at all in terms of being able to answer that one.
No.
I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like,
yep.
Like, I think it's very gettable. One, because if I get the Ka, that's really nice. But it's not actually the cheat. It's like I'm sitting here, and the hands are finally working.
Yeah.
I've got the Mars needs Amber. I've got the too much to protect. I basically just needed you to not have Frog for like that one turn, and then maybe I can get some good stuff going.
Well, I mean, I also have I have DataForge in archives as well.
Sure.
So
yeah,
like,
you have the.
I do have another key cheat, which is also like DataForge is also very live in this deck. So yeah, Joker says having the Logos at the end was what did you in.
Yeah, I mean that's basically what I'm trying to say. Like I think.
Yeah.
And maybe that was a mulligan issue. I actually can't recall whether I mulliganed my hand or not. I might have.
I don't think. Does it say? No, it doesn't say. But
yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that deck can absolutely win. I don't think I picked a deck that is unbeatable in the Doppelgangers.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm more thinking of like what I could have kind of done differently and stuff. Like that felt. If I was playing that in the real event, I would feel like I should have 3-0'd. Like I should have figured out. Like I did some. You know what I mean? Like I feel like maybe it was not killing the Edai earlier.
Probably, because the Edai is what made you not be able to forge your key off the key abduction.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it was that Edai living for that key abduction turn, for sure.
Yeah, because like I could have killed it a little earlier, but the gen was a very unlikely draw. So like I had just played Mars, and I'm thinking like I have to wait for this gen while I set up other stuff, and then the one card that I drew at the end of that turn was gen. So I'm sitting there 5 Amber gen, and I'm like, oh well, I guess we gotta do that.
Yeah, it's not a bad, especially because I had Ambervax out at that point, right?
Right, so I'm like, I gotta kill these things. I have stuff that I kind of have to do. So I'm thinking like the Edai is only helping me sort of.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah.
Get to a bigger hand.
To actually drop the whole deck.
Yeah, no, it was really interesting though. So if we were playing in the event, the score would be 1-1. So that would be a tied round. Neither of us were able to win with the Doppelganger, so it's not the easiest feat in the world, but I will say I think that there were opportunities to win both games. Like, it doesn't...
Oh, definitely. I think that, if things had gone slightly differently, I think, Scorptoro has actually a fairly good chance in that matchup.
Yeah.
A better match,
So
I think a better chance in that matchup than, like, Judge would. Maybe.
Yes.
I don't know. Because Judge key cheats, so maybe the Chelonios don't get as much value, but...
Right. Yeah, no, that's kind of true. But yeah, they're having all those, like, purging answers. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, I feel like I had my chances. I felt like that was fair. I didn't feel like your deck was, like, so much better that I didn't... You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it also... one of the really nice things about it is that it's really nice. It gives you, like, almost... I mean, the person playing the Doppelganger is almost like a little bit of a sealed feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, well, now I have this deck. I have this new deck that I have to learn on the fly to, you know, win in this situation with.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where if you bring if you bring like a trash deck, like if you go and pick a reversal deck, other reversal decks will be, you know, that will be spit out, and you'll have this awful reversal match. But like I feel like you're always playing on the same level, and like I feel like there's very rarely going to be a bad matchup, in the sense that one side will be a stomp.
Yeah, and that's definitely like the goal of it. I feel after having played it, I'm like, damn, like I was really close to making that work, you know? And like,
absolutely, yeah.
And like you said, it is that sealed feeling. Like that deck. It was like all the decks were like really mentally taxing to, like, all of those matchups were really mentally taxing, just from a strategic standpoint. So I'm pretty happy with that too. That's something I value really highly in format design. Is like I want the games to be a brain teaser for you. I want it to be unique and bring you a new puzzle, right? Like as a designer, like that's always what I'm after.
Yeah.
So hopefully this does it for everybody. Any last minute questions from the chat now that you've seen it fire off?
Yeah, we'll have some vamping at the end of this, after these two games, and if anyone has any questions about the format, they are always welcome to ask. And you know, if you have questions afterwards, then you're always welcome to reach out or ask on the Little Team Events channel or anything there as well. We're always happy to answer questions. Yeah,
I'm curious also just to hear if anybody is like thinking about different like ideas that they would try out after having, you know, seen it. You know, after you've seen it kind of go off and be like, oh, like maybe I'll try this kind of deck or that kind of deck. Like, I'd be really interested in hearing that kind of comment. Yeah, Orion is just scheming. Just scheming.
I think one of the nice things about this format too is it's sort of just like, you know, if you have a deck you just really like playing.
Yeah.
Yep. You are like, if you have like a 60 SAS deck that is just really fun for you to play, like, bring it, because that'll be, you'll be facing very similar decks in terms of what they do and their power level. So it's sort of just like it gives a nice little bit of casualness of just like if you have a deck you've played a lot and you're familiar with and you enjoy playing, like you are fully open to bring it, because it's not like it's going to be outclassed. It's not like it's going to be anything. It's going to be against very similar opponents.
Yeah, totally agreed. Yeah, that is something that I'm looking forward to, is just like seeing like this is my favorite 63 SAS thing, like that people have the opportunity to do that, or like, Dave is going to be playing with Jason and what's it say, Jason. Is it Ultimo? Is it Ultimo? Oh, it's you. I'm sorry. I'm
me. Yep.
I'm done. So Murph, Jason, and Dave on a team, and like Dave has all those like 5-card duplicate decks and stuff like.
Yeah, he's got all the 5x decks.
I feel like that is more than 0% likely to occur.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, like one of those ones that he never gets a chance to bring might pop up, I imagine. That would be really cool to see. That's something that immediately came to mind. I was like, oh, cool. Like the players with those like kind of like wide collections can just reach for that deck that they got because it was cool.
Or like if you have a deck, if you have a deck that has like a specific gimmick, or has like maybe it's got a bunch of legacies and Mavericks that you just think is cool.
Yeah. So Orion asks, it's not a question, but I have a deck with 0.6 Amber Control and 3.7 C that has triple Pampacas and double Snag. What's really interesting about that is that the Snags are going to be rated as Disruption, and also the effective power is going to be rated very highly due to the triple Pampacas.
True, so you get some like Sanctum Brobnar beef.
Yeah, like board versus board.
Yeah, like
they're going to have things to fight
Sanctum.
You with. Yeah, and they might also have some harder disruption because of the double snag is going to rate. I don't know the exact numbers, but like let's say it might rate at the same as Control the Weak. So you could be up against like a Brobnar thing, maybe like yeah.
113 effective power. That's going to be some beef.
That sounds like a really fun game, though. I gotta say.
That does sound like a. Yeah.
It's like they're not going to get killed, but like they got to find like the way. Yeah, I mean it's not a bad idea. I like the
effective power. At a certain point, effective power is C.
Yeah, but can we talk about how cool it is though? Like, I mean, this is already exciting to me. Like Orion typing about that deck, right? It's like 0.6A and 3.7C, but has the triple snags and like ways to use it. And, like people are excited. It's like.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's basically you're thinking of my collection like, wait, do I have that one weirdo deck that like doesn't work anywhere else, but it could be absolutely perfect here. I would expect, Orion, for whatever deck you do bring, I would love a deep dive series about the deck you do, at least one of the decks you do decide to bring to a Doppelganger event.
Yeah,
I think
that'd
be such a fun video.
It'll also give us information so we can defeat you.
Yeah. There's never any scouting.
No, not from us.
The double Dino's Bane too.
Yeah, that is interesting, right? Because that card is going to have higher value when you know the other person has around 113 effective power.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
You're not playing 100 games with it? That is fair. But at least do a video about it with a little bit of a highlight of the deck. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah. That would be very, very cool. When is this again? So, Ketzer, this event, the deadline for signups is the 30th of this month. So you have some days to figure it out. And then the actual event itself will start approximately a week after that. It's going to take me a minute to, like I said, I'm like doing this in collaboration with a data scientist, so I'm going to receive the massive spreadsheet. Then we have to update the entire, like we have 99.9% of the decks already in our algorithm, but we'll need to update that to make sure that we're up with like all the decks that exist in the game. and then we'll have to process that list through the algorithm, which usually happens instantaneously, but anytime that you do anything with an algorithm, as any KeyForge player should know, there's usually complications.
Have you backed up the algorithm?
Yes, the algorithm is backed up. It would be very hard to ransomware us because, unlike unlike FFG, the data isn't publicly available yet, but like I could make it publicly available with like, you know, the click of a button.
Yeah.
So and we do eventually intend on, like I said, releasing that as a tool to the public at some point. I'm not exactly sure on the it'll probably be open source. I can't think of a reason that it shouldn't be at this point, but I'm not entirely sure either, just because I haven't conferred with other people.
All very reasonable.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I really hope that you can play Ketzer.
Yeah, Ketzer.
And also realized
if you also yeah, it's one match a week. It's not too schedule intensive, but also Ketzer. If you are in need of a team, we're always happy to help you try and find someone, and find two people to help pair on a team with. And there's a looking for team channel as well if you are needing a team to hook up with.
Yeah, that goes to anybody. There is a looking for a team channel. If you post in there, I will always like personally make sure that you end up on a team if you want to be on one. I will, you know, scour heaven and earth.
Yeah, it's actually the first Swindle Team events I joined, which was the first season. Karen was kind enough to help me find a team. So
yeah,
it does work.
Yeah, and it's yeah, after playing this, I'm more excited than like when I like designed it, and like, you know, you always have that worry in the back of your head, you know, because there's the potential for imbalance here, you know. And just like, is this going to be fair? Will the algorithm work well enough? Will everything work? You know, and then you just to see it produce two incredibly interesting games. I like it.
Yeah, even like, you know, because I mean, even if every match is a 1-1, right, you know the matches are going to be interesting.
Yeah, fair enough.
So.
Yeah, the worst case scenario for me was like if I had a deck. The reason, I guess, maybe I'm like talking to myself to some extent, you know, but like the reason I was like, I felt like I had a chance the whole way, because I'm like confirming to myself that like, yeah, no, I do have a chance in this format. Like, it's not of the level of like imbalance where it's just like, because like we did, both of our Archon decks did win, but I think it was pretty damn fair.
I also, so Judge in that game had a slow start.
Yeah.
But then it hit fire.
Yeah, it really did.
So, because if that frog was in the bottom third instead of when I drew it,
yeah,
it would have been a lot more back and forth.
Yeah, no, I do concede that you'd have the data forge, but I really think like I'm gonna negate potentially 4 amber there with the Mars Needs Amber.
Yeah.
Setting up some other stuff, and then like the mem chips are gonna start going off for me, and then like basically it would be a race for third key between, you know,
your
me
Genka
with, like,
and my frog.
Yeah. Well, I don't even really need the gen though, right? Because I would start getting so much in the archives. I just need the key abduction.
Yeah.
Because it's basically like key abduction, data forge are sort of the same card, you know, with ignoring gen.
Yeah. And also the nice thing, Ketzer, is that I think every team is going to be fairly casual for this sort of event. So I'm sure any team you end up on, Ketzer, you'll find good teammates.
Yeah, we try to alternate, like in the design of these formats. Like when I'm talking to like the dev team about it, we try to alternate like stuff for like super competitive players to be satisfied, and also stuff for like, you know, a more casual, less thinky format. So like we just did a Moirai in the last event, and that was incredibly, you know, kind of practice intensive, thought intensive, and like this is taxing as a player in the moment.
There's no prep you can do.
Yeah, there's not a ton of prep that you can do that will change your outcome.
I guess you could, if you really wanted to, you could play 100 games. Play a game against each of your 100 Doppelgangers.
You'd have to play 200 games, because you'd have to learn both of their decks.
No, I guess against all of your Doppelgangers.
Oh god. Yeah.
And then you understand those matchups to give yourself a extra favorable matchup there. But like I said, I think if you have that much time, you kind of deserve to win.
If you I think if you do want to practice for this format, the best thing to do is to just basically play it out once so that you see your opponent's deck go off and like see what the threats are and like kind of understand their list. The advantage that we have against each other here, we know each other's decks. Like you know Cat Burglar, and I know Judge. So
yeah,
like, we're
both
kind of
those
like,
I'm very familiar with.
Yeah, hopping in blind against somebody who super knows their deck, not knowing what their deck is going to do with a blind deck is going to be a very extreme disadvantage. So at least like getting a really good understanding of what their deck does, I think that's where the prep work is.
Because if you figure out what you know, their submitted decks are going to do, you'll have a pretty good idea of what the Doppelganger is going to be doing. Like that Sharkamedes deck was, you know, shockingly similar in playstyle, or what feels like the playstyle of Cat Burglar.
Yeah, that was crazy. Like I could not have those. Yeah.
Me either. Like it was that was like I was kind of that it is astonishing, and also across different sets too, right? That was an AOA versus Dark Tidings, and you're still, I guess AOA and Dark Tidings are very similar sets, so maybe that's less of a surprise, but still, I'm very impressed with how the games, the Doppelgangers, and all of it has turned out.
Yeah, I think we both had chances. I think we both got interesting decks. Do you also have the feeling it's like, oh, if I got to play that game again, I think I would win it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. If I got a second chance at the Doppelganger, it definitely feels like it's like, okay, well now I can. It's like, yeah, I got my practice game in. Now I can play the real game.
Right. Yeah, I very much have that feeling, and I think this might help me like as a player to like really get good with lists. Like really get good with lists. And like knowing what's available to me, knowing what's available to the opponent. That's pretty exciting to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think definitely reading deck lists is going to be... Being able to read deck lists and understand the game plan of the deck going into the match just from, you know, the 2 minutes you get with the deck list is going to be a real test.
That is the extent of what I have to say there. Do we have...
I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
If there are any more questions,
forever hold your peace.
Exactly. If there are any more questions, please put them in the chat. And like I said, if you don't have to forever hold your peace. If you do miss getting your question, you are welcome to send us a message on the Swindle Team Events Discord about any of the format questions or anything like that. So, but if you have any questions here, you are going to get a probably more verbose response should we be able to respond.
Yep.
Yeah, of course,
no problem, Ryan. Thanks for watching. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate every single person who's come out and watched this stream today. Yeah. It has been a ton of fun streaming with Karen, as always.
Likewise.
Hopefully you all have enjoyed the smooth jazz that has graced your ears today. This is one of my favorite smooth jazz playlists.
Yeah, everybody have a good night.
Yep, sounds good. I'll wrap it up. Thank you everyone for coming out. Thank you, Karen, for joining me on this stream and putting up with me and playing some great games of KeyForge.
Yeah.
It was a ton of fun.
Put up with each other. We'll have to put up with each other a lot now.
I know. So
sounds awful.
Yeah. I'm sure there's worse fates, but it's hard to think of them.
Yeah.
But that'll be all for us. We will catch you all next time, and hopefully everyone has a great weekend, or is having a great weekend if you're in a Asian Pacific time zone. So have a good night, everyone. Have a good afternoon, good evening, good morning, and we will catch you all next time. See ya.